Good morning, friends. It is another hot one. So we were out at like 6:30 this morning because it's been 100% humidity and 80 degrees when I wake up. So we're battling lots of disease, lots of bugs, along with having no rain. So we have like semi-dark skies and then patches of blue still. It was sunny out this morning when I came out here, and then it started to cloud up, and I thought we were actually going to get like substantial rain because I could feel it in my body, but somebody did. We did not. We got a sun shower sprinkle, which is exactly what we've had for the past, I don't know, week, 10 days, I don't know. It's interesting. I wanted to show you, this is some of the garlic that I harvested. So some of them are good size. I wish I had labeled them so I knew. But some of them are really small. And I don't know if it's because these were the elephants and I got them too early, because again, I didn't label. But they're really small. So I left a bunch of them still in the ground, in the garden, in the bed. And we'll see what happens. The elderberry is still blooming in all of its gloriousness. Unfortunately, the Japanese beetles have been... Oh man, I just walked around literally for a half hour with soapy water catching Japanese beetles. I checked this plant probably 4 times, and there was just one on here. Literally, I go inside, they come out. It's like they know. But we've got our berries here. They're still looking good. They have not turned yet, which is good because we did not cover them. But look, there's a nice bee on this beautiful large floret. Here's my hand next to it. It's probably 4 of my hands. There's another big one back there too with a honeybee on it. Another big one back there. So this American gets really tall, and the umbrals are really large. So you can see the umbral size compared. But the berries are smaller, but you can eat the berries raw. So, and it's native, so it actually doesn't have the issues that the Sambuca nigra have. So like, I lost one of them, and this isn't a baby I took from the one I lost. And literally the American tripled in size once we put it in the ground. And the babies I just dropped off at a friend were a year old, not even a year old, and they tripled just in the pot. So she got, 2-foot size elders that again were this year. So it definitely, it does not compare. I would recommend doing the American if you can, because it's just, if you have the space for it, it just produces a lot more. And it's hard to harvest, that's the only issue, and it's hard to cover. So that's the downfall, right? Where the Sambuca nigra stays smaller, it's easier to cover, it's more compact plant, where the American grows like a tree. But I don't know. I'm kind of partial to it now. This is, I think, our 4th year with it, maybe? I can't remember. It all kind of blows together. But you can see, so we have, this is our gooseberry. We did get some gooseberries off of it. This one does have thorns on it. My other one, I guess, was, here's one. Oh, I just got that thorn. Was, I think, grown without thorns. A little morning snack because I did not have breakfast yet. We did get some small Romanescu. I don't think they're going to really grow. The cabbage, that's the large Napa. No, the giant cabbage through Baker Creek. As the first year I grew that. Had it been covered, it would have worked out a lot better. This morning I just was in here watering, pruning. I tied up the tomatillos and the tomatoes last night because it was cooler at 7 o'clock. It wasn't 100, it was 80, and it was less humid, so it was more manageable. My husband did get the Rugosa rose planted, which I'm happy about, and it's faring okay considering the heat. You could see our melons, our basil. See, in this bed, this is the newest bed. The basil looks great. The tomatillos look good. The tomatoes are doing well. I'm going to show you some other beds that these beds have been treated the same way. They've been around longer, so they've gotten more nutrients, and the tomatoes are really small, and the basil is really small. So these are our Tomasino squash. They did start to get some mildew. This has some sun scald on it. And so I took the mildew leaves off because I need this to produce. Oh, the bee's joining us. But you can see the tomatoes in here. These are all the cherries. They've been tied up. They're growing well. I do have disease already, so I came in and I clip off disease every morning. We've got our hodgepodge of a bed. This is the asparagus bed, but I also put whatever extra I had in here. So there's calendula, there's borage, there's a volunteer tomato, there's some lemon balm, volunteer mugwort, there's a string bean I put in here, something that's eating its leaves, no surprise there. Oh, here it is. Oh, we're gonna get rid of that. So there's lots of pest issues, there's lots of disease. We've got our chamomiles doing well. The one thing that's working out well for me this year is the onions. The onions have built up really nicely. I'm getting a good size in them. But you can see like the disease on the cabbage and the broccoli and the Romanesco. Not great. We do have small, very small in there. Hopefully you can see this one has some bug damage. But like, yeah. I'm just happy they didn't bolt, so whatever I get, I'll be happy with. But it took forever for them to grow. And you could see the disparity. So this bed, the tomatoes look good. Rosemary's looking okay. String bean. Thai basil, parsley, right? Pepper. This pepper is growing well. Again, exact same varieties. Planted the exact same time. Look at the difference. However, this calendula was covered in bugs and disease, so I'm not sure if this pepper got affected by it. So what I did this morning was I just had some mushroom kits that were not going to perform well. I just broke them apart and I added them to the soil to try to add more nutrients. I'm going to come in, I'm going to fertilize. These are aromas. They have not been tied up yet, which is not great. We've got an heirloom back there, but look how nice that calendula looks, right? But that one, same variety, covered in bugs. And I thought I would use it as a trap crop, so just have all the bugs go to it. But it started to infiltrate onto the tomatoes, and I was like, no, can't have that. But look how nice that onion is. That's huge. So I'm happy about that. The fennel is kind of shadowing, and I'm wondering if that's what's happening in this bed. It's not getting enough light. Again, we've got disease, but look of the difference, right? So the only thing I can think of is it's getting less sun because of the fennel. Bug, what are you doing back there? She's getting into trouble, I'm sure. So I've been keeping it all in this bag to keep it away. But even this tomato, I think that's I can't remember what that one is. So it's a green zebra. It's looking sad. But the cherries look good. Again, you just can never predict. These sweet potatoes were looking good, but then I have beetle damage on them. Again, I can't find the beetles, but I can see their poop and I can see the damage. So this is why I was walking around with soapy water last night and this morning doing the rounds. This is a hodgepodge bed as well. Again, it's kind of struggling. I think the fennel is taking up a lot of the nutrients. It's taking up a lot of the sun. So this is cilantro I let go to seed, the baby orac. Some lettuce I threw in here. Some more onions. So once I get some of these onions out, again, I did add the mushroom fertilizer to this. I'm just going to have to redo this bed because I want to put some cold crops here, hopefully. But again, look how small these tomatoes are, right? So that's our volunteer. It's either aroma or yellow pear. I don't know yet. I think it's probably aroma because they're a good size. But look, so that's aroma. That's aroma. That's aroma. All planted the exact same way in the exact same fertilizer. Look how sad these beefsteaks are. Like, come on. Crazy, right? Exact same bed, exact same conditions. oh look, another beetle. I literally did, that's a ladybug, but that's a beetle with that bee. I want that bee to do what it needs to do. But I gotta kill these beetles because they're destroying everything. They're especially destroying my roses and my crepe myrtle. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Bee. Get what you need so that I can kill that beetle, please. Because it is destructing so much. Oh, where did it go? Yeah, so there will be death on this video. Sorry, guys, but you could see the cucumbers were looking great. And then with this really hot weather, humid weather, they started to struggle. My Armenian is really struggling. I'm hoping to save it. I did wrap it in this medical tape because it looked like it had some vine borer damage. It looks like the vine borers actually tried to get to the trombocino too. And they're supposed to not bother that, but again, so same beds, this earth box, right? We've got 3 habanadas are a great size, 2 nadapeños not. However, those got attacked by the bunnies and got dug up. So they're probably a little stunted. So yesterday was incredibly hot. By 8 a.m. I had sweat through my clothes completely. I had to take multiple cold showers. Luckily we do have air conditioning, but it was so hot. It was 90 degrees by 8 a.m. and it was 79 or 80% humidity. So it was rough. So I did pull out some of the pansies that are no longer working. You could see our St. John's wort is working out really well. Our honeysuckle is riddled with disease and bug. Another year in a row. I don't think this is a great spot for it, but again, we're still trying to get this tree taken down, and we can't get people to show up. So I put some New Guineas here. The deer don't come into the backyard, luckily, but they will eat them in the front. I did move some peonies, which was not, in hindsight, great, but they needed to be moved from where they were. And again, this crepe myrtle, I was picking Japanese beetles off it this morning. Looks like we're in the clear right now. These lilies were covered in Japanese beetles last night. Covered. Look, there's one now. Literally, there was probably 5 on each of them. It was crazy. I've never seen them attack my lilies before. They attack the rose bushes. They attack the crepe myrtle. You know, they go on things that are flowering. But it was gross. They were covered. So we've got, again, these plants here looking kind of sad. I did get a spaghetti squash in, but I did move some of the impatiens here. I got another thyme in here with the citronella. Again, hoping this smelly herbs will keep the bugs away, the bunnies away. But look how sad these plants are. They literally haven't really grown. Like this one has grown, but the rest of them have not grown. And I know this soil is not the best, but we did amend when we planted in the hole, but you can tell that didn't help. You can see here the peas are starting to go on their way out. They're turning yellow. You could see how bad the disease is on these potatoes. It's just awful. So again, another year we probably will not get a potato crop. Hopefully at least a tomato. This rosemary is finally filling out. Butterfly peas, nothing. They died. I have 2 left over here. We'll see what happens, but I did move a string bean over here. I seeded string beans again because these string beans that I grew over the spring, incredibly sad, not really growing. Again, the green stalk gets fertilized. So this is a new one here that popped up. This one popped up. We've got one in here that's popping up. I'm trying to remember where I put them all. I thought I put another one in there. Maybe it hasn't popped up yet. I did also try to sow some more lettuce. There's one there. But you can see like the kale is being stripped by bugs. But again, I'm looking and I'm not finding the bugs. So I don't know when they're doing this because I check in the morning and I check at night. But literally it's stripped. It's just stripped. And B is off chasing the deer and the bunnies. So you can see snap peas have started to put out flowers again because there was a few days that nothing was happening. Again, severe bug damage, but I can't find the culprits. Which is, oh, there's one. Oh, that's a nasty one. Look at that with the eggs. So there's 2 on there. Gross. We're gonna get rid of that. So at least we got 1, but there's no way that just that one is doing all this damage. There's obviously another one somewhere. So that's what's going on here. Bugs, drought, insane heat. My brain is fried. It is July. What is today? There's a small one. I think today's the 6th or the 7th? July 7th. And this is what I'm contending with. I haven't really gotten a lot of food out of the garden. We've gotten snap peas. We've gotten some lettuce. I got some chamomile. We got some pea pods. But no string beans. Here, bug. No tomatoes yet, although you did see those aromas are green. We've got black cumin seed is in bloom. But yeah, like rough, and more rough. These sweet potatoes look good. They have little to no damage, knock on wood. But you can see here, we've got the milkweed. Oh, and there was no beetles on these yet. Usually we have the red and black beetles that strip the plant, and then when the monarchs come, which unfortunately we have not seen one monarch yet. So July 7th, no monarchs. We have seen little snow swallowtails, so we're thinking that the smoke from the Canadian fires has affected the butterflies. And that's really, really disheartening because the butterflies are already endangered. And they didn't really need something else working against them. So I hope you were able to enjoy your garden some. I hope you have some air conditioning if you're dealing with heat like we are. And let me know in the comments. See you next time. Bye, friends.